Hey guys, I thought that I would do some videos. This is not an ASMR video. Um, I, I'm a weirdo. Like, when I find an ASMR artist that I like to learn about their life. Because I'm a creeper. But anyways. So, my pets are a very, very big part of my life. So, I thought that I would do a video for each pet that I have. Hang on. Huh?
Are you in the middle of a video?
I am, but you're okay.
I forgot to turn the stove off out in the garage.
Oh, okay.
Would you?
Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, so this week I am going to obviously feature my snake. He is a ball python. And he is not the vicious beast that some of you may think he would be. I actually do, shit. Hold on a second. Ouch. That felt great. Still not used to this being there yet. But, the fuck was I gonna say? Come here, you. He's being very active tonight. He has freshly shed and he feels awesome. He just ate on... When'd you eat? You ate on Saturday, so he is good right now and he's happy and he is roaming. Hey, he's not Roman, he's African. Ball pythons come from Africa, in case you didn't know. Would you stop for just a minute? Dude! He keeps wrapping his tail around my necklace and I cannot get him to let go of it. He thinks he's gonna fall if he lets go of it. Even though I've got him by... There we go. We're free. We're free. Yay. But I thought I'd do a video every week about one of my pets. And he just happens to be in this room that I'm in. So we're going to do his video first. But he is a ball python. Ball pythons come from Africa. For those of you that don't know. They are... From what I've read and heard, they are not usually this active. I ended up with a very active one. He's very comfortable with me. Like, I can touch his face. He doesn't freak out. Most ball pythons will, you know, not to strike, but they'll lunge back to get away from your hand. He does a little bit. He's like, nee, don't touch me. On my head, but he doesn't care. Like, I can kiss him and he's fine. I know some of you are gonna be like, oh my god, that's gross. It's fine. I wash my face and brush my teeth and all that kind of stuff, so it's fine. But he is only, let me see here. He's only 5 months old. And he is, you know, he's growing pretty good. I mean, he has not, since he's been with me, ball pythons are known for, one of the things, the problematic things they're known for is being very picky eaters. This one is not. He is great. I will put his mouse in his cage with him and he will strike that sucker within here, you know, well, yeah, within about 10 seconds. He's already struck and begun the process. So he eats great. He's, you know, got his girth, you know. Ball pythons, the females, they tend to be longer. They grow to be about 6 feet long, or can get up to 6 feet long. Not all of them do. The males, which he is a male, they get anywhere between 3 and 5 feet long. So, with as rapidly as he is growing, I expect him to be between 4 and 5 feet long once he's an adult, which is not an unmanageable size. Like he's already about 2 feet long. You can barely tell because he's usually, you know, wrapped around something. So you can't really tell how big they are until you stretch them all the way out. And you're like, whoa. Another thing with ball pythons, as their name suggests, when they get defensive, scared, anything like that, they tend to curl up into a very tight ball and they bury their head. This little guy has not once done that with me. Not once. He's not struck at me. He has not bit me. He has not balled up with me. He has always been very chill, relaxed, and that's a sign of a good breeder, by the way. Yeah, it's a normal trait for a ball python to do that. But, you know, if they do it all the time, like they're not used to being handled. And he, like his breeder must have handled him every day as a baby because he is so good with it. Like I can do whatever I want with him. And he just, with his little boop nose, he's fine. He does not care one bit. So, not saying that a ball python that balls up is a bad deal, because that's, you know, a natural behavior for them. You know, they may just be really shy, which ball pythons most generally are very shy snakes. Just because you have one that balls up doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong with the breeder. That's a natural behavior for them. I'm just saying, this little guy has not done that with me. So, and I'm pretty happy about it. Even though they are really cute when they're all balled up. You just want to squeeze them. But don't do that because that'll scare them even more. They're like, oh God, a bigger constrictor has me. Because they are constrictors. They will strike at their prey, and much like a boa, they will wrap around it and squeeze the life out of said prey item. So I've seen it many times with him, and it no longer phases me like it used to. I used to want to feed him frozen thawed, which is basically a frozen mouse. You have to feed them mice. It's a demented fucking thing, but that's just what they eat. I originally wanted to feed frozen thawed. He prefers live, and if you know anything about ball pythons, you give them whatever the hell it is that they want to eat, or they won't. They will not eat. They are even picky with color of mouse. They're racist little bastards. He will eat a tan mouse. It just takes him some time to realize, okay, that's food. But his preferred color of mouse is white right now because that's what's usually readily available, and most breeders use those. So, but yeah, that's something you have to pay attention to. Another thing, if you want your snake to eat well, you need to keep up. There's a science behind it, and once you've done it for a while, it's really not that big of a deal. But you need to make sure that their humidity and temperature is correct in their tank. Temperature-wise, they need to be between about 90. Hi, baby. See, he's harmless. They need to be between 90 and 100 degrees in their tank. His tank where his thermometer is a little high right now, but he likes it. It doesn't bother him. It hasn't burned him. It's at about 110, 115, just because it gets warm. I need to add a little bit more substrate to it. Yeah. Their humidity needs to be at about 50% during the day. At night, it's not that big of a deal because obviously there's not a lot of humidity at night in Africa. So I spray his tank before I go to work in the morning. I turn his light on, and he's good for the whole day. If their humidity and temperature is not right, they will not eat right. Like, it's almost a guarantee, because they feel like they cannot digest properly if their temperature is not correct. They need heat to digest because they are cold-blooded creatures, and without that heat, I'm not a scientist, don't have a clue what it's all about. I just know this little tidbit about these guys. They also have a tendency to have bad sheds. He has gone through two sheds in the past month. If they go through a shed multiple times in a month, that symbolize where are you at? That symbol, he has left the building, left the stage left. Bye, Felicia. But he's gone through two sheds. Two reasons that can happen: injury or growth. And I'm pretty sure with him, the reason he has no injuries is growth with him, because he is a lot bigger than he was when I brought him home. He was a little itty bitty guy. I wish I had taken a picture of him at the pet store when I first held him, because he was so tiny compared to what he is now. I mean, he was tiny. He was so cute. I just wanted to squeeze him. Sorry, I'm a weirdo with animals. I love them. Oh, hello, sir. You've come back. He's like, against my will. I didn't want to come back up in the air. I'm trying to find some place warm. Hi. See, they're and you can tell when they're about to strike. Like, ball pythons give you a warning. They will do this frickin' S curve in their neck, and they will, lean back. They stop flicking their tongue. Hi, buddy. They stop flicking their tongue. They do the S curve in their neck, and they're completely focused on something. Whatever they're focused on, that's what they're about to bite. So, I mean, they give you warning signs. If you are, and do not take this the wrong way because it's going to sound harsh, but if you're too fucking stupid to see the warning sign, you don't need to have a snake. If you're scared of getting bit, I mean, that's just something I learned. Like, that sounds really, really harsh. I don't mean it in a harsh way. It's just, I cuss like a sailor and all that kind of stuff. There you go, bud. You want to chill for a minute? Out of the air? Yeah, that sounded really harsh. I did not mean for it to sound that harsh. But they do give you a warning sign. Like, they'll either ball up, which if they're in a ball, they ain't gonna bite you. They're just worried about hiding their head. But if they're in a defensive pose, don't mess with them. Let them chill. Let them be. Like with him, what I do with him, because the sound of, now granted, they can't hear, it's like the vibration of it, of opening his cage, it kind of startles him a little bit. Like, he will sit there in kind of a defensive posture. Not anything crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure if I stuck my hand in there, he wouldn't bite me. But just to be on the safe side, when I want to get him out, I wait until he is out of his hide. I open the lid of his cage, or his tank, I mean, and I let him come out on his own. It literally takes 2 minutes. As soon as he sees that cage lid is open, he is all over it, and he almost comes to me every single time. Like, he sees me and he's like, oh, hello, hello, pick me up, pick me up. It's really cute. And that, if you do it that way too, even if you startle them, because it's a snake. It could bite you anytime. You startle them, they could bite you. They could just be a snap reaction. What are you doing, dude? Flexing your neck? What I just let him come out on his own, and then I can pick him up from the back, and it doesn't freak him out, and he's fine. And once he's out of his cage, all of his defenses are gone. Not that he's a defensive snake, but sometimes that cage lid does startle him, and he's like, what the fuck is that? What's going on? So I just let him come out on his own. Now, if it's like an emergency, I could get him out. I just give him the choice so he's not scared or whatever. And I'd prefer to not get bit. That's granted, they say a ball python bite is not that bad. They say if you can handle a parrot bite, you can handle a ball python bite. Well, my whole frickin' index finger is scarred up from a parrot. So, yeah, not too worried about it. But anyways, this video has gone on quite long, but say bye-bye. Say bye-bye to VooDoo, and I will talk to you guys later. As far as my ASMR videos go, if you guys have any requests, let me know, because I'm running out of ideas. I'm very new to it, and either leave it in a comment or message it to me. It doesn't matter, and I'll do whatever, as long as it's not, I'll do it. So I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you sleep well tonight, and even though you just saw a sneaky snake, he's sweet. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, Felicia.